Yeah. All right.
What's up?
This is Black Half Blind Billionaire.
That's right.
I'm having a ball with my brother over here. Let me do a quick introduction. It's impossible for me to talk about all the albums he had, but I'm going to talk about the ones that I like. All right?
Yes, talk about those.
The past is the future, or the future is
Future
the
Without a Past.
Future Without a Past.
1991.
Nice. PTA.
Sob Story.
D to the I N D O. Don't make me start rhyming now.
Come on, you a few years. You jumped a few years. Let's start. 91. We came out with a Future Without a Past.
Future Without a Past. The other one was
Time. The Inner Mind's Eye.
T.I.M.E.
The Inner Mind's Eye.
Nice. That one was good.
Yeah, it was
I
real
liked
good.
A lot of people slept on that one.
Well, you know,
that one was good.
The first album was actually an album. It was a conceptual album. So it was school. It was easy to do, concepts for school. So we stuck to and we did them songs actually when we was in school. But what happened was
I'm going to introduce you, but that's going to be my first question. Y'all already know who I'm talking to. One of the founding members of Leaders in the New School, my brother from another mother, Dinco D. I don't have to get into it. We're going to get into it anyway. But I want to get to that first question because I was doing my research on y'all, right? And I know you're a November baby, like me.
Yes.
And your birthday's at the end of the year. Y'all started. You wasn't even a teenager then, bro.
Yeah, I was 17. But we started the thing when we signed our deal.
When you signed the deal,
Charlie Brown was 19. I was 18, just about to graduate. I was still in 12th grade.
Baby. Wow.
And Buster was 17.
Wow.
He was the youngest.
And Miller, help me out.
And Milo's his cousin.
Milo.
But see, Milo didn't start out originally with us. It was just me, Buster, and Brown.
Okay.
And then as we got closer to signing the deal, we needed a DJ.
Right, because that's what I want. I'll keep going, because that's what I was going to ask you.
And he actually,
what made y'all get started? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I told a story when I bought in Miss Jones about I was playing ball with Drew, who actually happened to be Master D of Houdini.
Okay.
And we said, we're going to get a rap group. Like, what gave y'all to go, let's do it, y'all?
Okay, listen. Well, this is the thing. Like, I see a lot of groups, how they come together. I was doing my own thing. Brown was doing his own thing. And Buster was doing those things. Charlie Brown is the founder of Leaders of the New School.
Oh, okay, Brown.
You know what I'm saying? I went to school with his twin sisters.
Uniondale, right?
In Uniondale.
Okay.
And because he was 1 year older than me, so we didn't really hang. But his twin sisters, I used to hang with all the time because they was all in my classes and they would throw parties. They was twins. They was actually the Doublemint twins. Yeah, they was actually, I have a poster of the Doublemint twins.
Nice.
And they was in the Wiz.
Actually,
Brown
twins
was in the Wiz too. You know what I'm saying? They was in the
wow,
Wiz.
I never knew that.
As little kids. But Brown and his family was like, yo, they had the pool parties, they had the, you know what I'm saying? He had the two sisters that was cool with everybody.
Right.
So we was over at his house and he was always protective of his sisters, you know, but he was cool.
Yeah.
And his brother, big shout out to DJ Big Hig.
Okay.
Who had all the knowledge, and he used to DJ with Spectrum City and different cats like Flavor and Chuck and all of them.
Right.
He was around the DJ circuit in Long Island.
They was from that way too.
Roosevelt.
Right,
exactly. That's right next door.
Right.
So Brown had already had his brother in the game, and he taught him all the old school stuff. Like we all grew up listening to that stuff.
Right.
But Brown was more of like a connoisseur, like a Rain Man, being that his brother was a DJ. He knew the records, he knew the artists, he knew the songs, Cold Crush and all of that. That's who put us on to a lot of the old school influence. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when you hear all the old school lingo in it, that was Brown. You know what I'm saying? That was like Brown's core idea. Because he founded the group. I was working on my own after I heard like Criminal Minded and Rakim. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that was kind of like
that was right. When I heard Rakim,
when Rakim came out, all of a sudden everything changed. Now you had to really make sense.
He was a game changer. Rakim took rapping to some whole other, you know, like they call backpack rap or whatever, or talking knowledge rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rakim was that guy. He's the original backpack rap, if you tell me, because he was speaking knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
And he right from over here.
Over here, right. So,
Rakim, we want you on this podcast. Podcast
yes, definitely.
I've been reaching out.
So I was working in the basement with my friend, and Brown came around and he had heard that I was working on some music.
Okay.
So he was like, "Yo, I want you to meet my man Buster." So he called me at my man's crib, and I break out the session with me and my man who was going to be my DJ.
Okay.
Big L, what up? You know what I'm saying? And I walk to the middle of the street over on Brown's block, and that's how we formed. He called me. He called Brown.
Buster was from where?
He was from the other side of Uniondale.
Okay, the other side. Okay.
You know, so he brought us together and formed the group, man. And after that day, we sat there and we had a plan that we was going to be that next day.
That's crazy how the magic happens,
yeah,
right?
It happened.
You know, when I talk about groups, right? And I said to myself, because there's a lot of 3-man groups, there's a lot of 2-man groups, right?
Yeah.
But I was having a conversation, right, with a brother by the name of Rye. Rye is my boy. We grew up together. His younger sister, you might have heard her. Her name is Remy Ma.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked Rye this question. I said, give me your top 5 rappers. And you know what he told me? He said something like a person would say that's watching basketball right now. He said, it's so impossible because it's different eras.
Right.
Right? He was like, there's the best of that era, best of this era.
I believe that.
And I believe that too. But the hell with that, I still want to know. Who's your top 5 groups? More than 3 members.
More than 3 members?
Give me it. Give me your top 5.
More than 3 members. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough.
And I got mine.
Let me just give.
They can be mad at him, but they can't be mad at me.
Let me just give you my quote. Run DMC is one of my greatest.
No.
That's a duo. I know it's a duo. I know it's a duo.
I need more than 3.
That's hard, man.
Well,
okay, let me think.
There's one group right down the block.
Cold Crush.
You can't forget
Cold
about
Crush.
Oh, Cold Crush. Okay.
Man, Wu-Tang.
They like the first
They
family,
more than,
right?
Yeah, of groups.
Just in no order.
No order. Yeah, there's no order. Because, I mean, it's just too many. I don't be narrowing, pigeonholing my like that. But group-wise, Far Side, I like their chemistry together. Far Side had dope chemistry together.
And you already mentioned Chuck and them, right?
That's not, but the Soldiers wasn't a group, you know, it's just him and Flav.
So you saying, because that was one of my 5, so you say that don't count?
Okay, so a group, you say it on it, is the group members rhyming too?
Yeah, it's the group, right?
Nah,
Am I saying that wrong?
It's the ones on the mic. If you got 3,
so
because Run DMC is a group with Jam Master Jay.
Yeah, but it's only 3 of them.
But you said 3.
See, he gonna make it difficult for me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And you know, this is my Long Island brother. You know, I know I'm from Queens, but I've been in Long Island for a little while now.
But it's hard. Like, that's why I don't like getting into that whole.
It's impossible.
It's
right?
impossible, man. I like so many different.
But who did you like? Cold Crush,
Rakim, KRS-One, Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick.
Nice. Big Daddy Kane, personally, is my favorite.
Yeah, but out of all, I mean,
you know,
I'm
from that.
Like,
era.
if you want to go that route, the top 5, the people who I learned from, Rakim, KRS-One, Slick Rick, and even Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. Let me say that.
That's not Cold Crush. When you're walking down the street with your in your hand. Because to me, if it wasn't for them, there would be no Lost Boys. If it wasn't the Lost Boys, there'd be no Amigos.
If it wasn't
for, watch this. If it wasn't for Leaders of the New School, there'd be
a lot
no
of
Onyx.
groups. Far Side.
There'd be no Far Side.
A lot of groups.
I can say it. I'm going to tell you.
Crisscross.
Everybody went off because y'all had an energy.
Right.
Everybody. You Google y'all up. You know what they say?
After Leaders of the New School, if you do your look back and you see after Leaders of the New School came out, and before Leaders of the New School, there was nobody that looked like us before that, and everybody looked like us after that. You know what I'm saying? Every group of MCs from Onyx, Far Side, I don't care who you say.
And I hear that a lot, but does it make you angry?
Nah, not at all.
Because it makes you even the opposite, right?
What makes me angry is the
Okay.
culture not keeping the history right. Because I go on certain sites.
Good dap on that one.
I go on certain sites and they remove Leaders of New School and they put Busta Rhymes. I'm like, how are we changing the history?
Right. It wasn't Philabelli, it was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So it's just funny, you never know where that's coming from. But if we're gonna talk
that's
about,
not right,
it's
though,
not right. But that's what I'm saying. But I see it's our own people who's writing these articles and changing these titles and presenting stuff, and they're not presenting it right.
It'd be us.
It'd be us. You can't blame nobody else.
And you can't do Leaders in the New School without Dinco D,
Charlie Brown, and Miles.
and the founder that you said, Charlie Brown. Like, I met Charlie Brown in the city years ago, man. Super cool. Dude.
Yeah, super cool. I mean? That's my brother.
Yeah. But and I tell everybody about this, their strengths and their weaknesses, and sometimes it's tough because when I was at Helen Keller, the lady that was talking to me, she explained that to me, and she broke it down to a fine powder, and I said, but that's your strength and weakness. She said, you're right. I'm good at figuring people out, but my weakness is I'm always figuring people out. What's your strength and weakness?
My strength is putting it together, putting the plan together, organizing the team to put together the plan and making sure everything's in place. My weakness is putting together the plan.
Come on, Dick.
I'm just saying that ain't my weakness. But my weakness is actually going through with finishing with the people that I start with sometimes. Like,
right.
Because I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to complete my mission. You know what I'm saying? Right. And sometimes you lose people along the way on the mission. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so
we born 9 days apart. Well, I got you beat by 4 years, but you know what I mean? But I know exactly what you mean. Like we got to get it done. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I said I was doing. I gotta
get it done.
I gotta get it done. Like quick story, and it's off subject. I got an email a couple of episodes ago that said, you're almost at 6 episodes, and that would make you in the 10% of all podcasts made. I was like, what? 6? That's it? They may not have heard of me, right? Because we got to finish it, right?
Got to finish it.
We got to finish it. I know we got to break. Producers, we're gonna break. But when we come back, I want to talk about what's next because I heard you got a different skill.
Yes,
we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're coming back with Black,
Yeah.
Half Blind Billionaire with my brother Dinco D from the Leaders of the New School. Let's give it up. All right. We are back from break. Back from break.
That's right.
Look, he's more experienced than me, but I'm gonna talk as much as I can. Black, Half Blind Billionaire.
Yep.
And it's funny because we had a funny story, right? Like I'm literally like biting my tongue so I can let you talk because you got stories and you was talking about this story. And please, pretty please, with sugar on top, tell that story you was talking about during the break.
What? Which one, man?
About how you don't want to cut nobody off when you're talking when you interview and they was interviewing. Okay.
Well, I mean, when we used to do shows, Buster started getting bigger, and like a lot of radio shows, they'd be like, we want to interview Buster, and sometimes he'd get mad because we'd be like, cool, go ahead, you do it. we going back to the hotel. I want Buster, take Buster. Go ahead. I have no problem. Because we're going to kill this show together, whatever, get paid together, whatever. And if you just want him by himself, go ahead.
I'm going to go back and get some sleep.
You know what I'm saying, for the next show. So, you start seeing things like that happen. Like we started seeing that things happen with the group and certain things like when we performed on Arsenio and management is calling and conversations and things is going on and different stuff. So, it was just like it was a great experience, man. But it's like it's so much things that go on in the in the backgrounds and between record labels, groups, and management and stuff like that.
And it's crazy because you hear all the stories. We was building about this earlier about how, in the verbiage, their mission is to break up the group. You
right.
know?
They going for they want the main source.
Right. And I think we can build better together, right? But you know, I heard it was going on in Vogue. Same thing. You
Same
know,
thing.
they
Yeah, a
going
lot
on
of
tour and
groups.
go, wait a minute, what happened? Right. But I think as a people, we need to work together more. Right.
We have to. I mean,
right. Like, you know,
there's no other way that we are going to progress or become more of a community unless we learn how to work with each other and work properly with each other, man. And just want to see our people in action and doing more.
Win,
Man.
right?
Right. It's like, you know what? I had an idea. I was watching. I'm like, you know what hip hop needs? The Keith Lee effect.
Oh,
Where are all these dominant rappers that could just come shine a light on in the studio for free? You ain't gotta make no deals. All you gotta do is just show your presence and support.
build on that, because people might not know who Keith Lee is.
Keith Lee's he's the fighter who does the shows. He travels from state to state, and
Right.
He does the food reviews in restaurants
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Now, I just thought of this idea the other day. I'm like, why is there no rappers that come and help other rappers out from the age? You know how you say the rappers that was done wrong.
And I heard there are a couple that do it, but not enough.
Not
Like,
enough, man.
I heard
It's
Snoop
the
does it, but I'm
easiest.
not sure.
It's the easiest pass you could do. For the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's by just showing your presence and putting your hand on other fellow rappers, and they, you know what I'm saying, and what they doing. Just showing your presence. That's it.
That's so true, because I think,
And you can do it for free.
And I love that you said that, because I think the most money I've ever made in business is when I help people out, and all of a sudden something pops
Pops off, because when you give, you will receive.
Right. And let me go a little further with that, because I'm talking to one of your new partners now, right?
Yes.
And I was like, yo, where you was at this weekend? He was like, oh, I was with Dinco. He had an art show.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't know. I like art. Yes. Talk about that. I didn't know that you was an artist.
Well, see, you know, when certain things in your life that happens, you know, like I was always into art.
Wow.
Like as a little kid, I was in art class in elementary. I was in art class in junior high. I got to high school, things started to change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the things that you crafted into, and then I got into music. But I was always into art.
It's all art, right?
Art. I used to love art. Like I remember I was little, I took a composition book, and I used to read comic books and all that. I took a composition book, and I think it was like, 50 pages or something. They tell you the pages.
Right.
I filled characters to the whole book. I made up my own characters and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
50 pages of different characters. I'm mad I lost that book. They might be using my cartoon somewhere. But you know what I'm saying? Like I had, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've always been into art
book,
class.
Right? Yeah.
My parents, they was like, listen, that thing's gone. But, you know, I've always been into art. And
so how did you get back into it then?
This is what happened. My pops actually died 2020, 21, 22.
Okay.
And I had to go help my mother out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And stay with her for a little while to make sure she was good.
Okay.
And while I'm down there, it was just, you know, down south in South Carolina.
Okay.
Shout out to South Click. Mm-hmm. But I stayed with her, and just to, you know, help my mind do stuff.
Okay.
I started painting, man, and it re-sparked a lot of chemistry and from when I was younger and I was into art.
Good.
So that sparked the cloud, and I came out. I did a whole bunch of paintings while I was down there with her for like 3 months, 4 months.
Wow.
And I brought them back, and I'm like, yo, man, I love this. You know what I'm saying? And then I had friends in the art industry, and I connected with them, and I'm like, I really want to do this because I really like it. And people, you know what I'm saying? I've sold a couple of paintings now. Like,
nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And I've always had my own artistic style, so it's doing good. You know what I'm saying? Who called it? My business partner was like, what are you, the Renaissance man? You know what I'm saying?
But I knew one artist when I was in college. And you know what he told me? He said that it's almost like a form of meditation. Like
yes,
it's like an escape. You understand what I mean? So I can feel that. But besides art, what's next for Dinco?
What's next? Well, actually, you know, I'd work with Gordon Ramsay once in a while. You know what I'm saying, on his production team. I work with different production teams, yes, and doing different stuff. So I'm trying to Just build a new production company.
Okay.
Producing
What's the name of it?
film. New School Link.
Okay. New School
New
Link.
School Link.
N-E-W-N-U?
Yeah.
Okay.
School Link. L-I-N-K.
How you spell new?
N-E-W-S-C.
Okay, because sometimes they,
Yeah.
All right.
But it's new, N-E-W-S-C-H-O-O-L-I-N-K. New School Link. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's the new company, my New School Inc. Music. I got a group called the Big East, my man H.
Right.
He's down there in Maine.
Maine.
But I mean, I've got artists I've worked with.
What up, H? What up, Maine?
Peace, the Big East. I got groups that I've worked with because I lived in Atlanta for 10 years off and on.
Okay.
Because I was down there when me and Fife was the only ones in Atlanta for a minute, like right around the same Tupac. Tupac was chilling down there. I was missing him in certain spots and stuff. We was all around there. But Fife had a house, and I had brought a little apartment down there. And we was like right next to each other, so we became like this, me and Fife. I threw him a birthday party at Velvet in Atlanta and a couple of other parties. I used to promote parties in Phoenix at the Warehouse down there in Atlanta. You heard of the Warehouse?
Yes.
Yes, that was a classic spot. But I was the first one. I was promoting parties, but that's when the whole wave of the South was coming. So Def and all of them was coming. Dallas Austin was down there and everybody. I shopped a couple of deals to Dallas Austin with some groups I had. Nothing really transpired. But then I did some tracks for Fife out there at Bobby Brown.
And I'm from Queens, and I never met Fife.
I
never met Fife.
That was great.
And I met Pac, but I never met Fife.
I met both of them, and they both good dudes, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my Pac story. So we had a show in North Carolina. I think it was Digital Underground, and this was before Pac. This was Digital Underground.
Well, yeah, because that was his first. But
First
this
group.
before him. Okay.
Yeah. It was Digital Underground. I think Big Daddy Kane. It was a couple groups, Kid and Play and somebody.
Okay.
And the sound man, we doing sound check, and the sound man is messing up our sound. Tupac was like, "Yo, you want me to go for? Yo, sound man, get this sound right." Pac, I mean, I don't know how games, whatever, but he just had that passion about the music and the artists, and he really loved us. He really loved Leaders New School, and he always told us that. But yeah, man, it was that was one of the stories, man.
You're right. Can I tell you my Pac story? I got a boy, CJ. He was with a group called Black by Demand. And he was cool with these cats from Queens called Live Squad.
Live Squad, that's my dude. What's his name?
Low and Stretch.
Stretch.
And Low and
my
Stretch,
dude.
we used to hang out with them. I had a Ford Escort station wagon that bounced like this.
And y'all was
and we had a ball with them, right?
Right. Stretch was cool, man. That was my dude.
Sleep in peace, Stretch. And one day we at a club, and Stretch got cool with Pac. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
And Pac is there, we in the VIP, and Pac, I don't know how, he had some weed on him.
Yeah.
And he offered me weed, and I said no. To this day, I said, damn.
I could have smoked the Elvis.
I said, I could have told my grandson.
Right.
You know I smoke weed
with Pac.
But that's my Pac story.
Right.
Yeah. Good dude, though. Good dude. Very down to earth.
And if you want to hear one more good story, I'll tell you one more story. We did a show with Das Effects and where was it? St. Croix.
Okay.
St. Croix.
Wow.
It's us and Das Effects, right? So we pull up in the van. This was one of the wildest stories, I'm going to tell you. So we in St. Croix, we pull up to the venue, and as the van's pulling up, little girls are screaming, "Hey!"
Right.
But there's two dudes screw facing us over like watching the girls cheering us on.
Yeah, they don't like that. Yeah.
They didn't like that, right? So as we pull up and park, we getting ready to get out. Like I'm in the back of the van, tired to lay down because I'm always sleeping in the van. Like I wake up, but I'm alert. So I wake up, I see this dude doing something in the gas tank, putting a cup and trying. I'm like, yo, I'm telling my road manager, yo, who's this? Like nobody's paying attention to me. I'm like, yo, there's some dude trying to blow us up in the van. So I don't know if he was joking or because he's standing there too. So if you like this, you gonna blow up. Like,
yeah. We all know.
What are you doing? So these dudes, they move him eventually, but I guess he was just trying to scare us or whatever, showing us some guerrilla tactics. I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, so they get to move him. So we go in, we do the rehearsal. So we leave the spot. So we come back, these two dudes is in the front row, and they lifting up their belts, and we like, yo, we not going on stage. We not going on stage till you get these dudes out of here.
Let me get up out of here.
They like, yo, we don't know nothing. I'm like, yo, we are not going on stage with these two dudes who tried to blow us up first time. Then we come back getting ready to perform, and these dudes is in the front row trying to like they ready to hurt us, right?
Wow.
So we like, yo, we tell our road manager, yo, and we tell the managers, yo, we leaving. I'm not, because it was in a horse race track in St. Croix. It was a horse race track.
Okay.
Open air, everything.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
So we like, yo, we not performing, man. We don't know. We in St. Croix. We don't know what these dudes are showing us, knives, if they playing guns, right? Like, take us back to the hotel. So nobody wanted
This is crazy.
So listen, nobody wants to take us back to the hotel.
What?
We like, yo. So we get one brave lady to drive. She's like, yeah, I'll drive you. Come on.
Come on, I got you.
So we start driving. We start driving toward the gate to leave. You see the crowd of people walk toward the gate, and they block the gate.
For what?
Huh?
So they all right. Explain that one more time. They blocked the gate. I don't get it.
From us leaving the venue.
Why?
Because they paid money.
Oh!
And they like, nah, you gonna give us a show. You ain't leaving this place until y'all perform.
So what did y'all do?
We tried to leave. Let me finish. We tried to leave, right? So the lady, we get a brave lady to jump in the van because nobody wanted to drive us. So it's us and Das Effects, and we telling them, and they with us. We like, yeah, we out here. We ain't performing. We ain't performing with none of that. So we start driving toward the thing. You hear something go ping. We're like, what the fuck was that? We go ping. They throwing rocks at the van.
Yeah.
So then one big rock come through the back of the window. We like, oh. Yo, we thought we was dead, man. Like, the whole town revolted on us, dude. They throwing rocks at us. They stopped the van. They dragged, somebody comes and pulls the lady out the van.
Word?
That's when we got scared. Like, yo, they don't care.
Y'all better stand on top of that.
So we like, if they snatch the lady out the van, what they gonna do?
Yeah. And she native. Yeah.
So we like, okay, we gonna perform. So we turn the van around, tell them we'll perform. So we turn around and go back to the stage. We're like, yo, we gotta perform, right? Everybody's there. They like, yeah. They like, you can tell they kind of laughing. Like, yeah, we made them coming back. They're like, perform all of your songs.
Right. Oh man, just another.
We did freestyles off the top. We did everything we could do at that. It was good. We had a good night. Then the promoters was fighting at the hotel. Like, yo, St. Croix, I love the island, the water, the beaches, everything is beautiful.
Yeah. Did you ever go back to St. Croix?
Nah. I hope they don't remember me. I'll go back. But man, yo, we got stoned in St. Croix. Because we didn't.
I never knew that, man. That's crazy.
That was the illest story. I swear, if you was there, you'd be like, yo, what's that movie in Turkey when they trying to escape? Like,
hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna steal that story. Next time I'm gonna say that happened to me. Look, we about to close, but I want to know. It looked like you up to something. What you got over here?
Yeah. Okay, man. So I started a shoe company with my partner, my man in the Samuel. It's called Dinco 360 ETA.
Okay.
I did one shoe, but this is the second shoe that just came out.
Nice.
The Dinco 360s. You feel it? Smell it. Just smell it.
These are nice.
You smell that leather?
Yeah,
so you can get those online. Go to my website, dincod.com. DINCOD.
So I could dunk in these?
You can dunk, you can funk, you can do what you want.
No, these are nice, man.
Yeah, the feel is real. It's made in Italy, real leather. You know what I'm saying?
They're nice, right? Let's give it up. Let's give it up, y'all.
Yes.
Beautiful, man.
But also, so I got the art, I got the clothing, dincod.com. I got some new music. Yes, and I can't let it go waste. You already knew this,
so I'm gonna tell you anyway. You gifted.
Right. But life brings up situations where you gotta put the gift back on the side for a second and just get to work. That's all.
That's all. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, guys, we're gonna have him back, right? He's gonna be here for a part 2. We definitely, right? We gotta have you back, brother, from another mother.
I'm here. I'm not going nowhere.
Hey, Let's give it again. Give it up for Dinco D. Guys, it was a blast. It was a blast. That last story was crazy. I know that's going viral.
I'll bring you with me next time.
Viral. Nah, I'm good on that. I'll be at the hotel. Hey, let's give it up for Dinco D. This is Black Halfline Billionaire. We are signing off. And like I always say, to be continued. Love y'all. Let's give it up. Peace.